religious. I don't know if there's a God. That's all I can say, honestly, is I don't know. Some people think that they know that there isn't. That's a weird thing to think you can know. Yeah, there's no God. Are you sure? Yeah, no, there's no God. How do you know? Because I didn't see him. There's a vast universe you can see for about 100 yards when there's not a building in the way. How could you possibly... Did you look everywhere? Did you look in the downstairs bathroom? Where you look? No, I didn't see him yet. I haven't seen 12 Years a Slave yet. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I'm waiting until it comes on cable.
It's a battle with the demon. If it was easy, everyone would do it.
Get out there on Christian Mingle, create a fake profile, and start trolling.
No, I hope nobody has your back on this one. You sick bastard. We're practically NPR. And welcome to Atheist Airwaves on Secular FM Radio. That's secular.fm. I'm Jay Guerrero.
I'm Susan Durbin.
I'm Jeff Klein.
And I'm Ferris.
Atheist Airwaves is Corpus Christi's only radio show for atheists and the secular-minded. We're sponsored by Corpus Christi Atheists and the South Texas Coalition of Reason.
Gonna make it real interesting real early, Jay.
It's starting right now. So, yeah, let's talk about what we heard right there with Mr. Louis C.K.
Yeah, so that was Louis C.K.'s monologue from Saturday Night Live this week. I don't know what day that was aired. Anyone?
I have
I'm
a
going to
feeling
guess it was Saturday?
That was mine.
It might have been. So, I have two caveats before we talk about this. I'm glad you guys are checking out the conversation real early this time.
I'm thinking that me and Christian might have switched roles this time. Like, he's saying the stupid shit. Anyway, go ahead.
All right, happy to set you guys up for that. Okay, so I have two caveats before we talk about what Louis C.K. actually talked about there. So the first one is I really like Louis C.K. a lot.
He's funny.
He's awesome, and I liked his monologue. It was awesome, except for this part that made me want to strangle him.
Yeah.
The second thing, though, is that when my wife actually made me watch it this weekend, and she made a lot of fun of me for being upset about that. And she's like, it's comedy.
I agree with her wholeheartedly.
And she said, if you talk about this on the show, I'm going to strangle you. So, but I said,
So you're getting strangled
when I get home.
Naturally.
Of course.
So
don't act like you don't want to be strangled by your wife.
I don't want to. I don't want to know about any of that. I don't.
And we never talk about personal things on this show, Jay. So.
Oh, we don't?
Not like we were trying to have a contest to see who could be most disgusting last week or anything.
Or we don't encourage our listeners to jerk off or anything.
For charity, jerk off for charity, okay?
It wasn't really charity, but
anyway,
downfall of the church is still charity.
Anyway, so what did you guys think about that part of the monologue?
I'm actually kind of prone to agree with you because it kind of seems like he's just kind of bitching about people who are like, no, there is no God. And he's like, well, have you looked hard enough? No. This is what people believe. And it's just kind of, I don't know where I was going with that.
It just seemed like a weak response to me.
Yeah.
You can't see him?
Yeah, it was a weak response, but I'm going to stand with Carolyn on this one. It's comedy. He was making people laugh. That's his goal.
But the best comedy is truth, And what he was talking about was not truth. What he was talking about was giving special privileges to gods that you don't give to things like leprechauns and unicorns, right? I mean, no one goes around saying, well, how do you know there's no unicorns? Have you gone and looked in the bathroom? No one says that. Everyone is like perfectly fine saying there's no such thing as a unicorn. And everyone would be perfectly fine if we came up with a fossil of a unicorn saying, well, I guess we were wrong. There is, hey, look at that.
It's a great thing about science. It has room to be wrong.
Right. All right, that's a good point. I still don't like you.
I mean, this is kind of...
I'm going to disagree just because I don't like you.
Just for the sake of it.
So, what does he say? So the other thing is, he talks about people who say verbatim, I know God doesn't exist. I probably wouldn't phrase my atheism that way.
Yeah.
I don't think that many people would.
Yeah.
No.
Very few people would, because that's I think it's like a 7 on the Dawkins scale of
I'm kind of there, though.
I know God doesn't exist versus the 1 on the Dawkins scale of I know God exists.
I mean, it is pretty conceited to out here say, I know God exists. I mean, it just sounds egotistical and shitty. But...
And that's what most people say whenever they're like, I know God exists. Well, why do you know he exists? Because I feel it.
I don't know.
I feel it in my bone.
Just the one, huh?
Lorem Gypsum in the chat rooms, basically called it a straw man, and I kind of agree with that. But I'm like a 6.99999 on the 7-point Dawkins scale. I'm pretty comfortable saying I know there's no God because of the unicorn thing. I have no evidence for a God. I have seen no reason to believe it.
Yeah.
And so until I do have reason, I actively say there's not one.
Yeah, I think it goes to the whole Occam's razor thing. You don't need some metaphysical God thing out there in order to explain what the universe is. Right. I mean, we're not sure what the universe is. We're not sure how it began. We're trying to explain that. That's what science is for.
Right. The God guess is no better than any other guess would be.
In fact, it makes it more complicated and makes less sense.
Right.
It adds an extra step in there.
The supernatural element of it that's just stupid.
Right. Well, I mean, basically, all you're doing is creating the same problem you had before by adding a God in there. You're just,
Yeah.
You're
You're just creating something to try and explain it.
well,
The
right.
God
but-
of the gaps argument.
No, but God has the same problems that the universe has in terms of explaining it. So all you're doing is pushing the explanation off on this deity, then instead of wondering aloud about the actual universe that we know is here and real.
And trying to find an explanation for it.
So are we saying God is a scapegoat?
No, I'm not at all. Nothing like that. Jack.
I'm not going with that one. I'm just not.
If we're going to have one, we might as well do that. Though.
I like the idea. Anyway, so in some other things that have been going on recently, let's talk about masturbation again because
It's like our favorite topic.
it's great. So this Sister Jane Dominic Laurel, she was.
Why do they always have three names? They always use three names.
It's like when they go to nun school, they just get an extra one.
Right.
It always used to be Sister Mary something when I was a kid. That's what I always remembered in
Yeah.
Catholic
Yeah.
school. Sister Mary anything, some other saint name.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they ran out of Marys. I guess they reached the end of the line, so they had to go to Jane. I don't know. Anyway, this woman has managed to piss some people off with her views on homosexuality. She gave some kind of speech at the Charlotte High School where she called into question the reasons for homosexuality.
Oh, she didn't call it into question. She gave the reasons
Okay.
for it.
Fair enough. Among them, she speculated or outright told that masturbating or lack of a strong father figure due to divorce could cause boys to become gay.
Well, clearly. So I've got very strong thoughts on both of those, and I think she's got a point because on the one hand, I mean, let's follow her logic on the masturbation thing, and she really focuses on dudes. She's not really all that concerned with lesbians. But if you're a dude and you masturbate, you are a man touching a man's penis, and that's pretty gay.
I'm pretty
But-
gay then, because
but not-
I like to. Never
But
mind.
not necessarily.
It's a scale.
There's
You're
a
like a
continuum.
6 on
If-
the, on the
if that's-
Dawkins gay scale.
If that's the way it goes, I guess I'm mostly gay too. So
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like to play with the other person as well, as long with the other parts. But I don't know if that's
So
if that's
Jay's
everything.
bi.
But by only with himself.
Yeah,
Well, so
I'm
he's
by myself.
He's
Whap, whap. This is feel bad for Jane Day.
I was gonna sing all by myself, but then I realized I can't sing. So
good call then.
Not
No,
it.
I like the part where she was talking about the statistics where gay men have between 500 and 1,000 partners. Really, where did you find that statistic?
no, I'm just saying that almost turns me gay. I'm like, I get that's that's how many people I get to have sex with. Maybe I'll
Sweet.
give it a shot. I don't know.
What kind of shot?
Jay is taking this into serious consideration.
It's the Jesus shot, of course.
Oh, I forgot about that guy.
face shot.
The thing about you're missing your father. You okay, Jay?
I guess you missed what Susan
I did
said.
miss.
Anyway, yeah. What about
You'll
me
hear
missing,
it.
What about me missing my father?
Well, I can also see where if you have abandonment issues, your father leaves you as a child, that would make you stick your penis in other men.
I don't know that.
naturally,
I don't.
that
Different
follows.
kind of daddy issues, dude.
That's not the daddy issues that Jay's interested in. I'm just, yeah.
This is airtight logic, folks. And she talked about her gay friend who said that he turned gay because he used to watch porn in the shed with his friends,
Oh, yeah, and then yeah.
and that made him gay. I'm just thinking
That's totally sound logic. I
There's
mean, I believe that
There's a correlation problem going on there, I think. I think he was gay, and he also was watching porn
Yeah.
with his friends.
He was probably less about watching the porn and more about watching his friends masturbate.
Right.
I don't know. I've heard about boys doing this in their teenage years where they like just all start jerking off together. While
circle
jerk?
That's really fucking weird.
That is weird.
I'm so glad you
I
didn't say
have
that.
no clue.
I've heard of it several times. And I'm just like, you actually got together with your, because me and my friends didn't just
does
go
that?
jerk
Yeah.
off together.
And I was,
That was a boundary that you didn't want to cross. It
I
just,
was thinking about this all day today. I was like, I'll bet you Jay, if anyone's done it, Jay's done it. And I'm going to ask him. I'm kind of disappointed.
I'm so happy to know how highly you think of me, Christian.
now I
Hey,
actually
here's-
want to ask
let's-
anybody in the chat room if they've done this. I'm really curious now.
Let's not slut shame the group masturbation crowd. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's
Different
it's,
strokes, different folks.
No, I totally agree with you.
No, it's like a whole bunch of different folks in the same room. Yeah.
Like I said.
With lots of different strokes.
You know, you're right. It's there's nothing wrong with it per se, but
It's outside my experience.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems I've
Definitely.
heard about it so many times. It can't be that common. I mean, I don't know. Maybe
I
it
don't
is.
know.
Maybe it's just a certain. Maybe it's a colloquial thing. Maybe they do that in Alabama. I don't know.
Lorem Gypsum in the chat room says that circle jerks are the toe under the bathroom stall that leads to circle blowing.
Wow.
Okay, so if it's called a daisy chain with females, what do you call it with dudes?
I got nothing.
I have in fact never heard daisy chain before.
Neither
so-
have I.
Sorry,
Okay, never
I don't
mind.
know- I don't know any of
Is
this
it, is
stuff.
it like just a chain of...
I'll
of...
show you stuff later.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I'm not really good with the explanation. I'm
It's
sorry.
okay.
Link that in the show notes.
We most definitely will.
We'll update you when we get the information.
Sweet.
I
Thanks.
was really happy and surprised that the students, the faculty, they were upset. The parents were upset.
They started a petition for it. It's got over
Yes.
like 2,000
It's
signatures.
up to 5,000.
Damn.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
So, and this is a Catholic school. She and they are perfectly within their rights to teach any dumb thing they want to. I'm just happy that there are Catholics out there who increasingly don't believe their own bullshit.
Yeah, and considering the fact that they cite in the article that the Pope was all like, hey, let's not really concern ourselves with homosexuals. And
Well, he doesn't say don't concern. He says
let's
let's
not-
not talk about it
Okay.
as much.
That's just not the big deal. That's not what to stress.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that was her. She's. I thought the same thing. Who is this lady? What is she doing? She actually has a doctorate degree.
oh, wow.
Do you know in what?
And I don't even have an
Okay,
associate.
wait, it's coming.
This is the fun in sacred theology.
Oh,
There's a doctorate.
So I looked at
In
some.
sacred
Yes.
theology?
And
What is-
the letters she writes after her name, STD.
perfect. Oh,
So,
Awesome.
That makes me so
most
happy.
most people who go and get STDs,
Usually they have to get antibiotics for it.
it's so
it
funny.
depends. Some of them are viral.
That's something that we have in common now because I went to college to get an STD too.
Oh.
Sorry.
Most people who get these also get PhDs with them. But she went to a special college in Rome, a pontifical college, where they don't do the rest of the academic stuff. It's just focused on the spiritual side.
Not all the hard stuff.
Yeah.
The learned
Really
Exactly.
convenient,
So she's-
considering it hasn't
Wow.
changed.
She's supposed to be an assistant professor at a university there, at a Catholic university in Tennessee. But she's not listed on, I was looking for her CV, anything like that, just to try to show what did this lady
Nothing.
do. And yeah, she's not even listed as one of the professors there. So
Wow.
not that I could find.
No, I think she was flown in special.
Yeah,
I don't know.
there was
Special bigotry.
there was something there, like Sisters on the Road or something like that, where they, I guess,
Is that
shipped
like
this lady
Bang
off.
Bus or
It does say that
Daisy chain.
it says that she's Dominican based, so I don't know what the deal is there.
Yeah, it's a
Missionaries.
Dominican college that she's at.
weird.
And I don't remember what. Oh,
is,
the it's the St. Thomas Aquinas was the one she went to in Rome.
Anyway, she's
So-
an idiot.
Yes. So I wanted to. One of the parents wrote a letter to the school that I just thought was amazing, and her name was Shelley Earnhardt. She's a divorced parent, and one of the things is, you might be gay if your parents divorced. I don't know if she's mad that I don't know that they're calling her kid gay. I'm not sure. But I love what she said in her letter. She said, "In my home, there was outrage, embarrassment, sadness, disbelief, and further reason for my 16-year-old to move as far away from her religion as possible and as soon as she can."
That's
nice.
awesome.
Bam. See ya.
That needs to happen more often.
Way to drive a
That
wedge
really
between you
does.
and your parishioners.
Yeah, that point
Yeah.
needs to be made. That point needs to be made. There's also a lot of blowback on it afterwards. I saw a lot of people going out and supporting them, and God, the people were nuts. You know,
Yeah.
priests even saying, "Well, no, she needs to say this. This needs to be put out there because there's, a religion, there's a culture war here where
Yeah.
people are going away from the church, and it's because we're not being hard enough."
Yeah, I saw one Reverend Tim Reed who was really pissed that Catholicism has become, in his opinion, very muddled and watered down, and I think this is totally true because I mean you look at Catholics don't believe in birth control. Over 90% of Catholic women have used birth control. And a good chunk of abortions every year, Catholic women.
Oh yeah.
So what the Catholic Church is selling and what even their own people are buying is very, very different. And the watered down muddy thing is because some people, especially young people, are leaving the church. The people who are staying and are still uncomfortable with all this stuff, and they're watering it down so that they can stomach it, really. And all you're going to do is chase more people out. So please continue to do that, Father Tim Reed.
Yeah, I saw that. I read the same one. I got the first part of his quote there, where he said that it her position represented well the Catholic positions on marriage, sex, same-sex attraction, and proper gender roles, which I think is totally what a lot of people in the Catholic Church don't want out there being said.
Yeah. They don't want to admit that they're part of a religion that is willing to say stuff like this.
Right.
It's like, come on. And I have a lot of issues with the Catholicism anyway. And then when shit like this comes up, it's just like, nope.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Well, I think, this is why the door is revolving faster and faster, especially with young people. I mean, what was the statistic we talked about a couple of weeks
it
ago?
was a few weeks ago.
What?
21 or
Millennials
22.
are twice as likely to leave their religion as Generation X, something like that.
I was thinking of a different statistic. Well, let me see if I can look it up real quick.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But anyway, I would like to encourage the Catholic Church to continue to expel their members by being this ridiculously stupid. We need more company at our meetups. So
Absolutely.
we've
Need
got
more
plenty
people.
of seats. We can push more tables together, no problem.
We'll find a shed for you if you want to go.
If you really want to go that route, we'll see.
And you know what? If you're into that, we don't judge you. We'd like to talk to you, really. Because what do you call
We just
that?
want to find out. Yeah, we're just curious. We're not judgmental. We're just curious.
Them boys been whacking off on my tool shed.
So speaking of douchebags with unpopular opinions, Tristan Emmanuel posted on the website Barbed Wire his 6-minute long YouTube video of him going on a tirade against Bill Maher.
I thought it was Matt Barber. Was that right?
Matt Barber?
I think his name is Matt Barber.
I thought it was Tristan Emmanuel that was the one that...
I may be wrong. Continue.
One of us is wrong and it might be me. So he is calling for the public whipping of Bill Maher for blasphemy because we all pretty much know and love Bill Maher. We all think he's pretty awesome. Flip a district. He was here a while back. From the video, straight quote.
Oh, you know what? I've got the.
Even better. He can say it a lot better than I can.
I've got 2 clips of this tool bag.
Sweet.
I almost forgot I had done that.
Ah.
Here's clip number 1 for you people.
Bill Maher is known for being an offensive, anti-Christian bigot. It's his trademark. But this time, he's gone too far. He may have protection under the First Amendment to say whatever slanderous thing comes out of that toilet bowl brain of his, but it doesn't mean Christians should turn the other cheek.
Isn't that what being Christian means?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's the entire philosophy that Jesus preached was turn the other cheek, love thine enemy, blah blah blah, all that stupid stuff. So he actually has called for the public whipping of Bill Maher.
I wanted to stop it there just because I was just astounded that he was like, we don't need to do that Bible stuff.
Yeah.
What? All right. So let me play clip number 2.
There was a time when Christians actually believed in defending the honor of God. And they
Let me stop it again, because there we go.
I don't think that's really that much of a problem these days.
If you're God and you can turn people into pillars of salt, or you can level entire societies, do you really need anyone to defend your honor? Can't you do that yourself?
They've got to prove that they would defend him. It's the test. It's the test of their faith. Completely.
All right. Let me let him continue.
would have unanimously condemned Bill Maher. Back then, Maher would have faced stiff penalties for his slanderous crimes against God and country. And the reason? Slander the almighty authority of America, God, and you've ridiculed the very foundation of its laws, values, institutions, and authority, and leadership.
And I can't even.
I'm right there with you.
It's this basis of we are a Christian nation. That's the principles that we were founded on. No, dude, we're not. You are pulling all this stuff so out of thin air. And what I think is really funny is saying you're slandering God. No, he's really not slandering God at all. He's saying all of this stuff that is in the Bible.
Well,
exactly. He's pulling the parts that everybody wants to ignore.
Yeah.
That's what stuck out to me too, because it's open to interpretation. Maybe he is slandering God. So I say put it in the court system.
How can you slander something that doesn't exist?
Let God sue Bill Maher, and if he wins, then we can bring back blasphemy laws.
And then I might actually believe in God.
There you go.
Well,
Maybe.
there's the other side of that. That's what I mean. I thought the same thing. You know, go on the legal side of that, and it made me think of the one Holocaust thing, God on trial, and where I thought that was great. That was, but it's the same side. You know, if God comes in, sues Bill Maher for slander, sue him back. Sue him back.
Yeah.
I like the idea. So it can you guys seen God on Facebook?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we should hire him to go ahead and start.
Go ahead and
that'd be
sue.
cool.
Yeah. Start the suit. Sue God back. Put God on trial. Because I think
We've
that's
got
what
you
it
on
was.
retainer, don't worry.
That's what pissed them off, though, right? I mean, it was Bill Maher saying the stuff about God being a mass murderer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. All of this completely true stuff, and it's like, okay.
Once you pass 1 million people killed, I think the mass murderer thing sticks.
Yeah.
It's pretty much. Yeah, I think that's the threshold for application of mass murder.
I would probably put the threshold much lower, but I'm comfortable saying if you've killed more than 1 million people, we don't really need to argue about it.
Well, and it's kind of like Eddie Izzard says. He says, you kill one person, we send you to prison. You kill 2 people, they hit you with a brick. 3 people, they send you to Texas and they kill you. Any more than, 10, 20, 100, people don't know what to do. And Eddie Izzard says it's almost like we're saying, well done. I don't know how you got time for this. You must get up very early in the morning.
Well, this guy, whoever the hell he was that you guys couldn't decide on, he's not the only one pissed.
No.
Old Kev is pissed too.
Oh, good old Kev.
Yeah, he's
we all
jumped after.
Ken Ham is like the new pope.
He is, yeah.
We're just talking about him
all the
every
time.
week.
Yeah.
I think that's what he wants, though.
Yeah, I think.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And I think this ultimately does show that the whole thing, the debate between him and Bill Nye was probably a bad idea because his name is constantly out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
In any case, he among other things that he said about Bill Maher, he said that Bill Maher is blaming God for death because he does not want to accept that he is a sinner in need of salvation. He wants to be his own God. He shakes the fist at God who created man. Yeah, that's the best argument you can.
This is
come
not
up with.
Church of Satan. He doesn't want to be his own God. That's their defining principle, not.
Reading that today, it made me realize I've been out of Christianity for so long that their own internal logic and their way of speaking doesn't make any sense to me
It's
anymore.
loopy.
Yeah.
It really
It
is.
did for years. I was able to put the Christian hat back on and process it. I can't even process it anymore.
There's just no hope for trying to understand that.
No.
Once you've separated yourself from it, there's no hope in understanding.
I didn't see. Did anybody find where Bill might have made a retort at any of these people? I really want to know his response to that.
No, in fact, I follow him on Facebook, and he posted these stories.
Oh,
Really?
without comment, just threw them out there.
None needed.
I would like to know what he says about about Kevin telling him that he's a sinner in need of salvation.
I'm sure it's a lot of giggling.
And adjusting of the bow tie. It was
But I think
I
it's
missed that. Sorry.
I think it's troubling that blasphemy laws are becoming popular with the Christian right in this
Yeah.
country, and when they go around screaming about freedom of religion so much, and yet seems to me to be the antithesis of it. And basically, if we apply their standard universally, we turn the entire country into like a BDSM dungeon. Because he beats me with his whip because I said something bad about his God. I beat him because he said something bad about someone else's
mutual
God.
masochism.
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird, but okay.
Jay, you looked really intrigued when he was describing
I was
it.
like,
You
the whole
really
country's
did.
a BDSM dungeon. I'm not sure that's gonna work for everyone, but okay.
Well, I don't think that's my point. Is it? Maybe old Kev is into that, but
Yeah, I don't need to think about that. thank you.
allegedly
No.
Matt Barber is.
Allegedly. That's going back to we can say whatever we want as long as we say allegedly in front of it.
I heard someone say that. I'm not saying
But
it's true.
you're not gonna divulge your sources.
I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying I've heard it.
Yeah.
All
Totally
right.
believable.
So speaking of Ken Ham, we had in South. It was a banner week in South Texas for
Really
science.
was.
It was
We had
absolutely.
Neil deGrasse Tyson last Thursday, which is why we had the show a week early. You didn't go, did
A
you?
day
I did.
early.
Oh, did you?
A day.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So everyone went.
Awesome.
Did you like it?
I did that week early. There's something wrong with your head today, Christian.
Whatever.
Anyway, yes,
I-
I did.
Only
I
a
thoroughly
day.
enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved that he like the introducer guy said, he's extremely charismatic and
Introducer
brilliant.
guy.
Shut up. The news guy. What was the news
Alan
guy's
Holt, the meteorologist from KIII
Yeah.
from Channel 3, Alan
name?
Holt.
That guy.
That dude.
It was really weird when he came out, because he came out, he introduced him, and then he left, and then he came back in the middle. He came back in the
Standing on
middle
the
of
side.
right. He came back in the middle of the speech and just stood on the side of the stage. and
That's creepy.
it stopped Neil deGrasse Tyson for a minute. He stopped when he looked over and saw him there.
He's like, you doing all right over there?
Yeah.
"Hey, you're standing there now."
Right?
I was wondering if he had the weatherman jokes in there already, or
Right.
if he just added them.
On the fly.
I really hope he added them on the fly for Alan Holt's sake.
We'll never know.
Yeah.
I am sorry that Justin couldn't make it today, because I thought he had a good take on a criticism of it, and I think it's a valid one, which was that, and I think it actually applies to Cosmos as well, which is it's very simple. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not learning a lot. I learned more listening to Neil deGrasse Tyson talk than I did, I think, from Cosmos.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
I mean, there's very little in Cosmos that I didn't know already. I mean, I didn't know some of the history and stuff, but
Yeah.
I think it's still entertaining and it works, but it doesn't add anything to my science knowledge.
But coming from the angle of somebody who didn't have a lot of this science knowledge,
Right.
because I haven't been really into sciencey stuff, very, very long. I didn't really receive a very good public education. Yay, Texas. But this is all stuff that is new to me and is fascinating to me, and it makes me genuinely want to go out and find more stuff out on my own and broaden my horizons.
Yeah, and I think that is, his stated job. He's a science popularizer,
Yeah.
not necessarily an educator. So his job is really just to make people interested and do what you did.
Yeah.
But I do think that, I wish there was something out there where you go to maybe learn more in depth. I also felt like the Q&A at the end was so short. And,
Yeah.
and I was really interested more in that.
He would have done it all night had they allowed
Yeah.
him to. They shut him down.
They did.
Well, I can't for the first part, I can't believe how long he spoke. I mean, he spoke for over 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a huge presentation, and I mean, he spent some time on that. I mean, I'm sure that's probably the same presentation he gives, every time he goes to a new place to do it. And I thought it was brilliant. I mean, he really painted the picture very well of how the space program is tied to so much in this country that I didn't realize. So, I mean, he is doing what he set out to do, which is spread the awareness of his, I guess his goal is, trying to get the space program back in order in this country.
This is why we need to do it. Exactly.
I love how I totally blanked because you were sitting practically next to me. we pre-showed at State Pizza near the university, and I forgot you
Pizza
were sitting right
State.
next to me, Jeff. So the other thing that happened this week was Bill Nye came to Edinburgh, Texas, which is just a couple hours south of here.
Yeah, UT Pan Am, right?
Yes, I couldn't go because I had to quiz, but I did hear that it was awesome, and I also heard that Christians staged a mass walkout, which
Really?
Oh, excellent.
I had been there for that.
Wait,
Wait,
what?
would you have walked out with them?
No, I would have been singing na 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 na.
Can,
I just
Let's get this on video.
can you expand on this for me?
So apparently he was taking shots at religion. You know, Neil deGrasse Tyson didn't even take Cosmos level shots at religion.
No.
No, he didn't. No.
No.
He had the kid gloves on.
Yeah, he had super kid gloves on. Bill Nye didn't even have the Cosmos tape on. He was all brass knuckles and just went to town on them. And basically said, I wasn't there, what I heard from people who were was that he basically said, you know, these are a long list of stupid beliefs to have and you should stop it.
Oh, I love it.
So,
Damn it!
That makes
I
me
wanted a
happy.
recording of the Neil deGrasse show, which I don't think anybody got. If they did get it, they're not putting it out there. But I'd really like to hear the Bill Nye.
I'm
one.
wanting
Wow.
to say there
Yeah.
might be a way to get it from Tamu CC, but I'm honestly not sure.
I bet
I'd have to
not.
do some research on that.
he closed his show with reading the pale blue dot from
Oh, that was amazing.
Yeah.
turned all the lights down. There's just the
It's
photograph
just-
of Cassini's photograph of Saturn and Earth. Oh,
That made
it
me
was like,
so happy.
It was badass.
And then one of my friends got the video of it and tagged me in it. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like sitting there in the car. We had just left the Performing Arts Center. I'm sitting in there in the car listening to it. And I'm just all like, yeah.
And that's as close to a religious experience as I think some of us are
Yeah.
ever gonna get.
Seriously.
Hairs in the
That
back of your
was-
head. Yeah,
And I
did the
love
same.
I love how he said, I'm going to read from the Book of Carl.
Yeah.
That made me so happy. Oh,
I guess that's like a minor shot at religion. I don't know.
yeah. And I got a little Carl Sagan finger puppet on Amazon this week that came in. So we went and saw a movie and had Justin had the finger puppet on the whole time. It was Carl
I don't want to
Sagan.
know about your sex life.
Finger puppet.
Going back to the Satanist guy.
God damn it!
She's got little sex puppet slave dolls.
A
now.
sex puppet that's Carl Sagan.
Which is totally understandable.
Oh!
We know how you are.
Yeah, you can't speak now. Your secret's out.
So I have.
she's broken now.
All right. So the other thing with Neil deGrasse Tyson this week is that he was brought up on the floor of Congress, which was kind of amazing.
Yeah, it was. Let's see. On Thursday, they were holding a committee hearing where NASA Administrator Charles Bolden Jr. Was talking
I was
about.
more of a fan of his dad. No, I have no idea what that is. Sorry, go ahead.
It's like, what? Anyway.
Anyway, he was talking about the financial needs of NASA, talking about deep space exploration, and he said deep space exploration is hard. We cannot jump to Mars. We have to develop the technologies. And Bill Posey from Florida,
Republican.
Republican.
So this is what blew my mind. He's a Republican from Florida. He's for space exploration. And then he quotes Neil deGrasse Tyson on the floor of Congress.
Just wonderful. Says, I like Neil deGrasse Tyson when he says, space is truly the only investment we make for future generations. Just like, damn, dude. Damn.
You know, on the politics book thing here, politics ball thing is what I meant to
Politics
say.
bullshit.
Yeah, all that. It's almost as if, you know, people can have different opinions regardless of what party they're in.
Right?
Well-
It hasn't been that way in a while, though.
Yeah, that's the problem.
On this one, he is from Florida, and his constituents, you know, include all the NASA
Yeah.
folks. That's
And it's called
Good
like
point.
Space Coast. That his district is. It's called
Yeah.
the Space
Ah,
Coast.
okay. That makes a lot more sense to me.
Yeah, because
Okay.
they've got
Although,
everything there.
You know, also, just to retract some of my statements, in the past election when Newt Gingrich was still in it, he was all Mr. Moonbase. So There's some crossover, although the Republican Party called him crazy for that.
Yeah, and it's kind of amazing what they'll say in order to get elected. Usually they kind of stick to their party lines pretty
Yeah.
hardcore.
Well, especially on the right in this country. I mean, they are lockstep in a way that,
They're not willing to
The
make
left just
any
isn't.
concessions, yeah.
yeah, it's very unusual for someone to break ranks. I mean, the Tea Party is, actually pulling other people into rank with them. Only recently have we really seen people breaking out and doing their own thing. But it's good to hear people actually talking in Congress with the importance of the space program. It's one of the things that Neil deGrasse Tyson talked about extensively in his presentation.
That's like all he talked about.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
But I agree. I mean,
Oh yeah, absolutely. But
We could all die tomorrow, so let's start today,
Yeah.
right?
well, if we all die tomorrow, what's the point?
Well, because maybe we
We'll
could
have
build
started
something.
on it. At least we'll have started on it and we can say that.
It was a joke.
We're such a short-sighted species. We really, I mean, we think in the corporate world, we think quarters. In our domestic world, we're thinking about every 2 years. We're thinking about offhand elections and things. Offhand elections. Wow.
Off-year elections.
Off-year elections. Yeah. And-
He's still stuck on the hand jobs in the shed.
right. I'm thinking about Carl Sagan.
Which is causing
hand
you to
puppet.
think about the
Yeah.
hand jobs in the shed. Oh, Carl Sagan hand jobs.
No, I totally agree with what you're saying, Christian. Though we are a short-sighted species, not just a society, but as a species, we are. And I think a lot of it. I mean, I can't say that it's all tied to generational thing, but I think some of it is. I know that some of the people in my family, even just one generation back, they're very much about, oh yeah, I'm not giving up my gas powered, this or that or whatever,
Yeah.
and they're so set
Stubborn.
into it that they're unwilling to really think at all about the future of what we have here. We only have one friggin' planet, and until DeGrasse Tyson and his
That
constituents
we know of.
well, until we figure out how to find some other ones, we're kind of stuck here.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, there are routine extinctions on this planet. We know that for a fact. There's going to be another one. It could be today. It could be tomorrow. It would be awesome if it could happen live on the air.
We could put that in the show
Yeah,
description.
great coverage. Yeah.
I love you
Put that in the
guys.
show description that this species went extinct during the recording of this episode of Atheist Airwaves.
I love you guys, but
you
I
don't.
want to be elsewhere doing other things, like when extinction takes place.
I don't care. I just want it to be.
When your extinction takes place, or any extinction.
Well, any extinction, but specifically my extinction too. I'm good with that. Anyway, Corpus Christi Atheist meets every Sunday at 5:30. This weekend we're at B&J's off of SPID. Visit ccatheist.com for a complete listing of our events, or visit southtexascor.com to connect with any of our sister organizations. We span from Brownsville all the way up here to Corpus. Also tune into secular.fm for other godless programming.
Just to add one last note to the last topic, PD Baby in the chat room says, people are afraid to die. They think about that constantly. I'm not sure if I'm missing the context of why she was saying it, but that really makes me think, why aren't people afraid of... They're so afraid of dying, and they do so many ridiculous things because they're afraid of dying. Why does that not translate into importance placed on the space program? I don't get it.
Because they're short-sighted. They don't see that
They think about their own death
Yeah.
rather than the death of future generations and what future generations are actually going to need.
I'm going to kind of walk back my statement because I think it's even more complicated than that, because you can also look at people who chain smoke, people who don't exercise, eat whatever, who are killing themselves. They are causing their own deaths. They must on some level know they're doing it, but they do it anyway. People are weird. That's the point.
Well, I think a lot of that has to do with the vice factor. It feels good to do it right now, so screw it.
Okay, I'll be right back. I got something to do.
Gonna go masturbate in a shed.
So let's talk about some
Wait,
follow-ups.
so then the three of y'all are gonna go masturbate in a shed, and
shed-
I have to sit here and do this shit alone?
My shed's too small. It's okay.
God damn it!
Chat room only wants you
You
anyway.
have Carl with you?
No,
do you
sadly
still
I
have
don't.
some Sonic left? Because they could watch you eat more Sonic.
I do actually.
All right, well, there we go.
I love how
Problem
that was
solved.
in the tweet today.
I'm not going with you guys. You guys have fun. I'm gonna sit here and chill with Susan and do the rest of the show. While
And
you
then
guys
it's just
jerk
gonna be
each
the
other
most
off.
disgusting show ever.
All right, so let's not do that then. So, frequent subject of conversation on our show, Rick Dyer, who is the man who claims to have shot Bigfoot twice. He has made a shocking announcement this week. Apparently, he was full of it the entire time.
Just kidding.
The corpse of Bigfoot he had was made out of, what was it, camel hair and foam and clay.
How did he get camel
That's what I
hair?
thought. Where'd he come by a camel in fucking Texas?
Well, I'm sure he just had the skin imported.
How do you
Can you
import camel skin?
Order it on the internet?
I was going to say
Camel hair jacket.
Silk Road.
www.camelhairblowout.sale.com. It's so
Get it
easy,
on the black
even Rick
market.
Dyer can do
Hey
it, man.
guys, don't
Damn.
follow that link.
That might lead you into the deep recesses of the internet.
Anyway, so I totally didn't see that coming.
I didn't see him admitting it, but
Well, so apparently what happened is one of his associates got into a fight with him, and so his associate was kind of trying to extort him. So by saying, I'm going to tell your secret or whatever. So he came forward or whatever, and
He's like, nah, beat him to the punch.
his quote in the announcement he made was, from this moment on. This guy's not good at English. I'll just say
He's
that
not
right
really
now.
smart, is
No,
he?
not very.
Obviously.
From this
Imagine.
moment on, I will speak the truth. No more lies.
Yay!
And $20 says in 2 years we're talking about this guy again.
2
And-
years. 2 years?
Well, it took him 2 years last time.
I think we seen him
We'll
before
see.
that.
All right.
He's gonna cash in on this chupacabra thing. Did you see that?
Oh no.
That's actually like a raccoon with mange.
It's what it appears.
That's what the thing. No, I swear to God, that's what a
Someone said
hairless
they-
raccoon looks
Someone
like.
said they found a chupacabra.
No, they've got
Yeah,
video
in
of
South
this
Texas,
critter.
yeah.
It's in like Victoria or something. They caught it
Yeah,
in a Havahart trap.
somewhere down here.
I don't know.
I love it. Lorem Gypsum in the chat room says, if you can't rely on the word of Bigfoot hunters, who can you trust?
Obviously,
God. You can always trust God.
And then he says, Jesus Cabra? They're about the same level of believability.
Did anyone understand what he was talking about when he was talking about how much money they made?
I didn't read it, so no.
Okay. So it seems to indicate that one of his people made $11,668 doing this tour where they charged money for people to come see
it, yeah.
see it. And another guy made $6,235. Although he insists that the kids in All My Fans Smiles would have been payment enough for me.
Oh, God.
Right.
I really need to punch this guy now.
He's in San Antonio, though, right?
Yeah.
So we can make the trip. We can make it a meetup.
Just for me to punch him?
Yeah.
Fucking sweet.
I only have your best interests in mind.
I appreciate that.
Obviously.
Yeah. You gonna bail me out?
We know some lawyers, so
I can't hear this stuff.
let me also say
You're culpable now.
there's now a petition online to have Rick brought up on federal fraud charges.
Good.
Which I fully endorse. Make this guy pay. And I think we should do this for a lot of things. I mean, it's not. We talked about it the first time we talked about this guy about how, maybe it's just harmless fun. I don't think so.
He's knowingly making money off of something he knows is not
not
true.
true.
He is presenting something as truth that he absolutely knows for a fact is bullshit.
Yeah, but wouldn't you say that about like the old circus like sideshows and stuff? They were presenting
Yeah.
this stuff
That's
that
a
they
different
knew
time.
wasn't true.
That was a totally different time and era, though.
But I don't think that it makes any difference. I think that was just as
just as
Yeah, I
bad.
agree.
bad. I think that if you're doing something that's obviously satire of that kind of thing, I'm okay
Sure.
with that. I'm okay with a Guar show because, you're not actually coming
Rest
in to
in
see
peace.
aliens. Yeah. Rest his soul. Blessed
Somewhere.
peace be upon him.
Anyway, sorry.
Flying over.
But I think people like that and manufacturers of homeopathic remedies and the stores that put it right next to real medicine, all of these things should be illegal. These things should bring charges.
They're counting on people to be gullible
Stupid.
enough to fall for it, and a lot of times they are gullible enough.
Yep.
But the thing is that if
Yes,
there's
you
a
can.
market for it, they're buying it because they think that it's working because of placebo effect. They think it's working. But if they're too stupid to realize that it's not actually working,
But I don't.
shouldn't they do the research for themselves?
No, because I don't think you should have a right to take advantage of stupid people. I mean, you might as well go into homes with the mentally ill and the mentally challenged and start taking their money. You know?
So people who buy
So
homeopathic medicine are on the same level.
Yes.
So
Totally logical.
what I think the solution is that they need to make it actionable so that we can go in and sue them, seize all their assets. I'm not doing this out of self-interest or anything, but no, seriously. If on the homeopathic remedy thing, I think it's horrible. The Federal Trade Commission doesn't come in and do it. The state trade commissions don't do it. They're the ones that are supposed to be protecting people against that, and they're not doing it. I guarantee you that if you made it a civil action, it would end.
Yeah. No, I'm totally
point.
I'm totally there with you. I don't think that they're stupid enough to fall for it, so that they should be. You know, I don't think that should work. I mean, you look at Ponzi schemes and stuff like that. Bernie Madoff made how many billions?
True.
And you know, I don't think being stupid is a license for people to take your money from you. Although frequently that's what happens.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, let's move on to another follow-up from a previous story.
Oh, wait. Can I just add one last thing to this Rick Dyer thing? The end of his frickin' statement, he says, you know, okay, I don't really have the corpse of Bigfoot. It's not real. The end of his statement, he says, but I really did shoot it. And that video I put up, totally real. This guy, I swear to God, I don't know whether I hate him more than I've hated anyone in my life, or whether
And
I
that's
really...
a lot of hate.
That's a lot of hate.
That's a lot of
Yeah,
hate.
if you know Christian, you know.
You know the extent of his hate. Pure unadulterated hatred.
Sith level stuff. Huh?
That's how I get by
Yeah.
without any sleep. I am conscious.
Fueled by hatred.
By hate. Or I may just really admire this guy because, I mean, who does that? I mean, I couldn't even imagine after the first time when film crews came out to your house and they showed that your Bigfoot corpse was a fake, doing it again. And then after you admit that that's a fake too, sticking with your story.
I get the impression that he's like a real life Joe Dirt.
I don't know who that is.
Oh my god.
That's what it seems like to me.
Like complete with the mullet.
Who is Joe Dirt?
We'll educate you later on Joe
Yeah.
Okay, well,
There's
that's
not
good
really a
radio right
short
there.
explanation
Yeah.
for it. The David Spade?
Dirt. Yeah,
David
David
Spade.
Spade movie about the redneck dude.
I don't care now.
It was.
As soon as I said redneck, you stopped caring.
That's why
That's
I told that.
understandable.
All right, so
Wait,
follow up.
Beady Baby in the chat room says censored. I forgot to turn off the the filter.
Okay, so in Tennessee, you might have remembered. I don't know if we actually covered this. It was a
We did.
long
We
while back.
did.
The
Mosque.
bouncy house big ride.
Oh, was it Bouncy House Big Ride?
Yeah, because it was on January 31st that the story came out, and it was kind of a.
Okay, Rain Man.
No! I went and looked it up. I put it.
I tried to. I actually did a search on our website.
It was 23 minutes. I swear to God, I went and I looked.
okay, Rain Man.
Wow.
Why don't you?
That's scary.
since
I get a lot of stuff done at work, and then I have a lot of downtime.
Okay, so basically there was an Islamic group. It was the Murfreesboro Islamic Center, I think, is what they call
Yeah.
themselves. They were trying to get a mosque and all this. Well, they're
no.
trying to set
No,
up a cemetery. Well,
their-
back in
their
2010.
their mosque was burned down.
Right.
Like it was arson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And back in this story is really old. Like it goes back to 2010, where these people started getting pissed off that they wanted to build a mosque at all.
Hold on. Because that's going to be so annoying on the recording. So let's just pause for a second while motorcycle fuck leaves.
If he's
I
going to
really
leave.
hate. I gotta say, and I don't care who gets mad at me. I hate people on motorcycles. I do. They're so obnoxious.
You're obnoxious.
Yes, I am.
Your face is
Okay.
obnoxious.
So yeah, the story goes back a long ways. Back to when they were trying to build the mosque, and then there was the arson thing. Well, it's all coming back up again because they're trying to get the cemetery.
Which is what we talked about before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to get the cemetery erected or set up. I don't know how. I don't know
don't
what
think
you
you
do
have
with the
to
cemetery.
erect
Sort of, you
cemetery.
kind of
I don't
have
know
to prepare the
plat
land
it.
for it and everything. You have to dig stuff
Well, you have
up.
to, you have
They're
to
breaking ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Breaking 6 feet of ground.
Anyway, the long story short
the
is
local community came forward and was like, "No, you're not building a Muslim cemetery in our town." They had no good reason. They've come up with some good reasons in the well, not good reasons, but they were like, "Oh, it's gonna be
Zoning issues and stuff like that.
Because it was all fine, but what they were saying today was it would cause traffic problems. And I'm like, What?
That's a stretch.
Has anyone, other than on the day of a funeral, has anyone ever seen like a busy cemetery? I mean, it's not a high traffic area, right?
No.
It's really not.
It's really about being racists and xenophobes, basically.
And they're just horrible because when you watch the video and it's got a link to the raw footage of this, there's a guy who is screaming at, and there was actually a reporter, like a Muslim reporter, that was just there.
Oh, he wasn't. I don't.
No,
oh,
the woman.
yes, yes.
Yeah, she was there, and she was there in the get up. Oh God, I'm
Hijab.
horrible. There we go. I'm a horrible
The
person.
get up.
It's the beekeeper suit, as
costume.
Omar would say.
Should I say something horrible? She's there, and this old white dude is screaming Islam is not a real religion.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, just telling them they're just basically just horrible people.
Yeah,
And
they
it's
freaked
like-
out. They absolutely freaked out over this.
And up in the other reporter's face too, who was
Yeah.
just there
They
reporting
tried-
on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they tried to manhandle him. I guess he
Yeah.
was the cameraman for
He's
for
like,
this whole
don't.
thing.
He's
No,
like,
it's
I
the
don't have a
reporter.
dog in the. Yeah, it was the actual reporter. He's like, I don't have a dog in this fight.
He was
get
way
off.
bigger than
Don't.
that other guy too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy.
That guy had some brass ones.
They did. All of them
Yeah.
did. They were nuts. I looked up some of these people. In fact, one of those ladies I think was actually a rep, like a state rep, and the whole race between her and her at the Republican primary level was who hates Islam more. I mean,
Yeah.
all the other issues went out, and it was no,
Who hates
no,
him more.
I hate
Yeah.
him more. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that was what they called it, the craziest GOP House race of the year, where each woman tried to prove that she was more staunchly anti-Muslim than the other.
Yeah.
That was their whole election race, was I hate them worse than you hate them.
right, and the one crazy-looking lady is actually the one who won.
Really?
Oh wow, yeah.
This might as well take place in Texas, as far as I'm concerned.
Tennessee. What do you expect?
The thing that I found curious though was because there were several of the Muslims there filming and taking pictures of the people who were going in, and I wondered if that they were definitely thinking that it was on purpose and that they were trying to intimidate them. I would not be surprised to find that that's true, and if so, I think it's kind of funny to turn their paranoia and their bigotry back against them. It's like, you think we're all terrorists? Okay, let's suck on some fear.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they freaked out, and they're going to keep freaking out. Basically, if I read the story correctly, and this has been a couple of days ago, we know my memory, but they basically said, no, we're not going to let this judge see this case because he's shown bias before. Is that
Yeah.
basically what
Yeah.
happened?
Well,
The judge actually recused himself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said he wasn't going to hear it, and then all the crazies were
All that happened.
pissed off about it because it didn't get heard that day.
Okay.
and they all took off work to be there, and they
Oh yeah, all these people who took off of work.
Yeah.
I'd like to point out this wonderful thing. Hecky13 in the chat room just said, "Not all cemeteries are busy. Most of them are usually dead." Amanda, I love you. That is my roommate.
I know. I'm done with her.
No, that was wonderful, and I love it.
So
Makes
she
me
was
happy.
responding to Kensai 87-1, who was basically saying that he worked at a cemetery and they actually are pretty high traffic. My question would be where, because I have to. He said that he was seeing like 3 to 4 cemeteries, 3 to 4 funerals, 3 to 4 funerals a day. And I can't imagine you would see
enough.
that in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's got to be a bigger area that it serves in order to see that many deaths.
And also, it's a Muslim cemetery, so there's just not going to be that many frickin' Muslims in Tennessee.
You know, I'm really surprised that, and maybe there was when it was first built or something, the mosque here in Corpus, like as you're going out, I guess it's as you go out towards the airport, you can like see it off in the distance.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Is that,
surprised.
I don't.
I don't think that's
That's,
a mosque
not
thought
a,
that was
either.
that's a Christian church.
Why does it look like a mosque?
I have no idea, but it's a Christian church. It's got crosses
Oh.
on the cupolas.
Cupolas?
Why does it look like a mosque?
Because
Maybe they
were
designed it
into
that way on purpose.
I think our local
To make
mosque
you
is
ask
not
that
very
question.
mosque looking, but I don't know that for a fact.
I think you're right too. I think I've been right once, and
Anyway, so let's talk about some politics ball so I don't have to listen to you anymore.
Okay, let's talk about our own Texas Congressman Louis Gohmert, who is going to win Mr. Genius of the Year award. On a good day, he's less than stupid. So this was a real mind blower of a day for him. This gave me a head desk history lesson. In the separation of church and state. So let me just play his clip. He went on the air to talk about his interpretation of what separation of church and state means.
President Thomas Jefferson, we're talking about the guy who coined the phrase separation of church and state, who said there should be a wall of separation between church and state. But it was to be a one-way wall where the state would not dictate to the church, but the church would certainly play a role in the state.
What is a
No.
one-way wall, first of all? I mean, is anyone aware of something?
It's like the two-way mirror. Like the state can't interfere with the church is doing. It's kind of like the.
I think
the
that's what he was
interview
going
rooms.
for, but one-way
Yeah.
wall.
Yeah.
Is this like a cell
he
wall
tried to
where
make
it's
the point and
impermeable in
just
one direction?
fell flat.
Well, Thomas Jefferson was an innovator, in terms of architecture and the rest. You had Monticello, and I think one-way walls were
He had the
probably something out there.
capability. He really had the capability
If
for
Da
it.
Vinci
I bet.
didn't come up with it, Thomas Jefferson definitely did. But seriously, if you allow churches to operate within the state, then the First Amendment becomes completely meaningless because
Yeah.
the church becomes the state.
Yeah.
You can't have a one-way wall because that's not a thing that works.
Can we stop saying one-way wall?
No, because I'm just fascinated by how that would possibly work unless you had a portal gun. Then, okay, I can see one-way wall.
That'd be wonderful.
That was creepy as fuck.
So Thomas Jefferson came up with that.
With the portal gun.
Totally did.
Nice. So ahead of his time.
This is all about Christian supremacists. I mean, this was on. So let's. This was like WorldNet Daily TV or something. Is that what at least that's what was in the corner of the thing. So, you know who WorldNet Daily is?
No.
No one knows World Nut Daily. It's a right-wing teabagger blog site.
I choose to not get
Yeah, no
involved
wonder.
with that sort of thing.
Well,
I'm just
Politics ball.
saying.
Of course I don't know.
You hang out in South Texas politics long enough, and you're going to see a lot of WND. Anyway, so they are Christian supremacists. They were the ones who actually led the charge on the birth certificate with Barack Obama thing. It has nothing to do with history or the Constitution. They don't care about that stuff. It's just about doing whatever it takes to maintain Christian supremacy. Because if they really believe, because let's just look at Murfreesboro, where they're denying similar rights to Muslims. They don't care about the one-way wall. They don't care about what the Constitution says or what it's meant to do. They just want to be special in our country.
They just want to retain that position of power that they have.
Yeah,
And
they want,
privilege.
they want it their way, and nobody else can have their way, and that's the whole mindset behind. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
the majority of Christian activists in one way or the other.
Right. And if you talk to these Christian supremacists, they have no inkling of what the founding fathers' religion was actually like.
Of course not.
It bears no relationship to the Christianity that they practice today. If you drop them into the 18th or 19th century, they would not even recognize that. I mean, most of them were deists. And, to me, deism is like just half a step removed from atheism. If you're a deist, you are functionally an atheist.
I don't know about that. There's still it's
Isn't it like
still a belief in a deity.
Right. But,
yeah, the existence of some sort of God that just made the universe and then was like, oh, okay, I'm done.
Right. So
Right?
if you're a deist, your God doesn't do anything. So while you believe in a God, it almost kind of
He's kind of pointless.
functional. It's pointless.
There's no
And-
consequences
God.
for not believing in the God.
Yeah.
There's no consequences for your moral actions
It's not-
having to do with the God.
Yeah, because if he's not going to
So-
punish you.
Right. So your moral foundation has to be laid upon something besides that. you
So
know?
I guess the point you're making is that it's not an organized religion where
No.
there's
It's really just a
consequences
thought
and guilt
process.
and stuff like that. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
It just,
I see what you're saying there, but
it's an explanation of origins, and that happens because science had not progressed as far as it has now.
Yeah.
We didn't have a scientific explanation for the origins of the universe at the time.
we still don't.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
We
We're
have
getting there.
we have explanations. We have guesses. We have hypotheses.
Yeah.
At the time,
I guess you're right. That the best guess was, oh yeah, that dude did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the I don't know, therefore God.
Yeah.
So that's what they had to do.
So yeah, in the same vein as Louis Gohmert, And what we were talking about with, them wanting their one-way wall. I still can't
Say it again.
The dudes from Tyler.
One-way wall. Oh.
Tyler, Texas.
Tyler, Texas.
Oh.
He was actually an appellate court judge. That's the sad part.
Oh, that's
that's
scary.
This guy he was the chief judge of the 12th Court of Appeals. This guy has everything to do with making our laws.
Those mentalities are so far embedded into our government. It's fucking scary. It's really frightening.
At this point, there's not really much of a way of getting away from it unless we have
Because
some kind of overhaul.
Some judges are not quite that bad though.
Yeah.
I can't really think of one, but okay.
Well, how about the one in Maryland?
Yeah, so he was trying to lead me there. He was trying really hard. I got interrupted. So in Carroll County, Maryland, County Commissioner Robin Frazier apparently has been beginning her morning meetings with prayer. And it is prayer that specifically mentions Jesus Christ by name.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. So Judge William D. Quarles Jr., I think Ferris is a bigger fan of his dad, too, of the U.S. District Court of Maryland.
The sequels are never as good. I'm just going to...
My dad was a junior.
Empire Strikes Back, that's the only one.
Return of the Jedi.
That was not a sequel.
Jaws.
That was the third movie, douche. I think
How is it not a sequel if it's the third movie in a trilogy?
Okay, hold on. The geek hammer has been laid down.
Also,
it is just because it is the third movie in a sequence does not mean that it's not a sequel. A sequel is not
we'll look it up.
strictly indicative of a second movie.
I agree with Turpin.
We'll look it up after the show. But
Anyway,
Return of the Jedi was not better. It was worse than the previous film. Are you going to debate this with me? You're going to say
silence
whoa,
falls upon.
Stop. Are you really going to sit here and tell me that Jedi was better than Empire?
I like it more,
Shut
but
up.
it's not necessarily better.
Get out of Jay's house.
You can't kick me out of someone else's house. God damn it.
Oh, this just sparked a whole different realm of...
I feel like I just turned red.
Oh, I am. I think it's because it's hot as hell in here.
That too. And in fact,
I
my
do
Chewy
feel
bag.
like
Has
I
nothing
was
to do
going
with
to
the
make a
Ewoks.
joke, but you'd be pissed
No,
if I made
fuck
that
you,
joke.
I love Ewoks.
That show is so devolved already.
I'm hot. I'm cranky. Don't make that joke.
You're
I
just
was
like
about
a
to make
baby
it-
in the summer.
I was about to make a Jew joke, but Christian
Yeah,
would get
don't
all
do that.
mad.
No.
Don't do that.
Why does everybody get pissed at me for that?
Because your jokes are awful.
Yeah.
They're awfully hilarious.
So should I start this one over?
Yes, please. let's
Okay. So in Carroll County, Maryland.
Oh, shut up.
What?
All right.
Jesus! God damn it!
Our goddamn chapter.
Oh, freaking Kensai 87.
Yeah. I think Return of the Jedi was on par with
I
that.
like
Shut
Return of the
fuck
Jedi.
up.
I like Return
Okay.
of the Jedi. I think it brings a good conclusion to it. I don't know how I feel about
GY13.
7.
GY13. Wait.
Jeff, I'm
GY13
sorry.
has recentered me. I'm going to edit all this out. But GY has recentered me when he said, my life has changed for the worse when I first saw an Ewok. That
You
is
know what?
true. Ewoks are so horrible.
No, I fucking love the Ewoks, you sons of bitches. Because I'm a girl and I love cute fuzzy things.
You like furry things no matter what they are.
Jay's got a cute furry thing you can...
I hate all of you.
Okay, let's try and get back on track here, children.
I apologize.
Starting over. I fucking hate you.
How do you walk in here and say shit about Empire and not expect
I'm not
me to lose
talking
my
any shit about Empire.
Yes, you are.
I have not actually said a single derogatory thing about Empire
Yes,
Strikes
you did.
Back.
You equated it with Jedi, which is ridiculous.
No,
Hey,
I
Jeff, you wanna
actually
get some
said that I
popcorn?
liked it better. I said that I liked Jedi better, but I'm
And you could
willing
go
to
right
admit
to hell.
I'm willing to admit that Empire is a better story. It establishes everything a lot better.
Go straight to hell.
But Jedi
Hey,
wraps everything
guys.
up.
Hey, chill, it's okay.
Let's
Okay.
let's let it go. Sweaty handshake, friends.
That's gross, guys. So, can we continue with the show sheet now? I mean, I'm all about some Star Wars, but fuck.
Okay. So starting over now.
Into the nose, out through the mouth.
Okay, so Carroll County, Maryland. County Commissioner Robin Fraser apparently has been beginning her morning meetings with prayer, and specifically prayer that mentions Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
That fucking
Jesus
gay.
Christ. I know, right?
He's Mexican, I'm pretty sure.
Jesus.
Anyway, go ahead.
So, Judge William D. Quarles Jr. I'm a junior too, so shut up.
Sequel's never as good as the original.
He's of the U.S. District Court of Maryland. He issued an injunction against the Carroll County official saying that she's not allowed to do that. She is not allowed to specifically make these prayers when in her morning meetings. But apparently, Fraser is willing to go to jail for the right to open her morning meetings with a prayer that only suits one specific religion.
And I'm willing to send her there.
That would be wonderful.
So basically, somebody says, that's not cool, you can't do that.
Yeah,
the judge
and she gets a court order that
Yeah.
she can't do it.
The judge goes, yeah, constitutionally, you can't do that. And she goes, don't really care, gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
Yep. And
It's
I'll
like
go
a-
to jail for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will.
And the thing
Somebody
is,
shove her in jail, please.
I gotta say, I think if she continues, the judge will probably take her up on it. I mean, she's requesting
I hope
jail.
so.
She might have just gotten a fine or another slap on the wrist, but if she's requesting jail, I think
If she is going out and saying publicly, I am willing to go to jail for this, they should take her up on it.
see ya.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
she
think-
says she says, if we cease to believe that our rights come from God, we cease to be America. Adding that she's willing to go to jail over the issue. And it's like,
And she called this ruling an infringement of her First Amendment rights. It's like, why do these people not know what the damn Constitution says?
She's an official with the county.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be... You,
if
Well-
you have a she's
care.
county
If you-
commissioner.
If you are in any realm of government, I don't care how insignificant to lawmaking...
We
or,
just finished talking about Louis Gohmert, and you're going to tell me you think that we have competent people in...
No, I'm not
No,
saying... What,
yeah,
no,
'cause
what I'm
we
saying
don't.
is that...
Ideally.
It should be a knowledge of the working actual... realistic knowledge of the Constitution, what it means, how it's, actually written, should be a prerequisite to being in any of these positions.
having some understanding.
I mean, if you're going to be in any
don't
position to
disagree.
make any sort of decision or have any factor involved in our government, you need to know what friggin' Constitution is. And, I learned this in like 6th grade in Texas.
And he still remembers it. If Jay remembers it, you have no excuse.
Yeah.
Sorry,
True.
I started getting a little mad there. Anyway, go
It was
ahead.
the Empire thing, wasn't it? It just got you going and
Fuck you both.
spilled over into this story.
I'm gonna start posting pictures of Ewoks on your Facebook wall.
gonna block
at
you.
every opportunity.
So one of the things that I really
It's gonna
liked
be
was
everywhere.
Monica Miller.
We can turn one into a penguin. Then he'll like it. Anyway, go ahead.
He's curious now.
Now he's in the
He's
Ewok
intrigued.
penguin porn.
I'm just gonna go hang out in the chat room. Oh, except that Kensai guy is there.
Okay. So thank you for listening to
No. I got more shit to say.
Oh God.
'Cause this is the best part of this story. Monica Miller is a lawyer for the American Humanist Association, and I just love what she had to say about this douchebag council person. She said, quote, "It's entirely possible that the commissioner wishes to become a public martyr of sorts for Christianity, a celebrity upon whom religious sympathizers can bestow admiration and encouragement. If that's the case, and if she therefore ignores both the court and this warning, because the people who filed the suit sent her a warning saying, do it again, and we're going to file charges, she will no doubt get her wish. Amen. Give her
I
what
hope
she
so.
wants."
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, we had that story a couple weeks ago about the church people convincing the police to arrest them
yeah.
for
Yeah.
spreading Christianity.
Having them just
Let's-
totally go along with
Right.
it.
Let's do it for real. Let's put her in a squad car, take her
Yeah.
to prison.
Well, and on the realistic side, it's not that hard of an order to circumvent.
Right.
You know, I sat and read the order, and these injunctions have to be narrowly tailored. And just the geeky, lawyer side of this was that it just had to not mention any specific deity associated with any specific faith or belief.
Right.
And
So
that was the
she
problem.
she can still do a prayer that skirts around it without saying Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
She can say Lord, our Lord,
Any of that stuff.
any of that
Yeah,
stuff. God.
any sort of, but the issue that they took was the fact that she would mention specifically Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
so
and
it's like,
if you don't love Jesus, then you're not American.
yeah, you're gonna feel excluded from
I
it.
really want to I want to punch people who say shit like that. if Jesus is part of America.
It's like, no.
You're not a true American.
Yeah,
America.
Sorry. Okay, so thank you for listening to Atheist Airwaves on Secular FM Radio. Corpus Christi Atheist is a humanist, and this is also the part where I screw it up every time.
I know. I can't wait for this part because
I
it's so much
know.
fun.
Corpus Christi.
You were doing pretty well, and then you interrupt yourself. Try it again, and let's see if you can get it all the way through.
Okay,
We're going to
let's
have
try
to start over another section tonight.
Thank you for listening to Atheist Airwaves on Secular FM Radio. Corpus Christi Atheist is a humanist organization. Humanist beliefs stress the potential value and goodness of human beings, emphasize common human needs, and seek rational ways of solving human problems. We stand for the equal treatment of all people, and this includes combating social injustices such as misogyny, racism, homo and homophobia, as well as other such bigotry.
And you did it even with the wet treatment still in there.
Damn, that was good. That's the best I've heard that in a long time.
That's the best it's ever been. I always fuck it up.
amazing.
You got pretty deep there at the end.
I know.
It's like you were going for
he was
like
getting
a
really
sexy
close.
voice.
But you did that during sound check earlier too.
or
Like you
homophobia.
got real close to
I'm all
it.
over some homophobia, baby.
Wow. I don't know how I feel about that look you just gave me.
I'm kind of turned on right now, guys.
It's because of the Ewok
Go to the
Klingler
shed.
porn.
Let's just turn Meta. I love it.
Okay, so let's move to a different segment. The whole segment where all of this stuff is really fucked up.
I love fucked up stuff.
Are we moving down to the woman walking?
Yeah, let's
To
do that.
Cairo.
Oh, yeah. All right. So, what are you staring at? Oh, there's a fly. It's like staring over my head.
It's on the.
This is going to be a problem for the rest of the show.
Anyway, yeah, let's talk about this blonde lady in Cairo.
Okay, so a cell phone video was released this week of a woman walking through the campus of Cairo University, and a mob of angry men formed around her. They were screaming at her, pushing her, harassing her. They
Tearing her clothes off.
They ultimately tried to tear her clothes off. She had to go hide in the bathroom until guards came and could escort her off the campus safely.
Now, not all of this was in the video. The video only shows so much. It doesn't. I guess the reporting...
Jay was really looking for her clothes being
Boobs.
torn off.
Fuck you, Christian.
Jay was
Should have
really
known you were
hoping-
going to go there.
Jay
He was
hoping
really
for boobs.
excited about the prospect of that. So. We know you. Come
Yeah,
on. We
anyway.
know you.
I guess we're on hold again.
Fucking cops, man.
That was good timing, though. That was like right as we all just silent. That was perfect.
I wasn't watching for boobs.
Are you
What were
sure?
you watching?
I want to see boobs. Like, I was trying to study for the show.
I'm just there
By
to read the
looking at
articles.
I watch the videos, guys. I don't like to read.
All right, so what was your problem?
I look at Gone Wild for the artistic shots.
I don't even remember what I was saying now.
It didn't show everything, but
Yeah, the reporting really, I guess, fills the story in.
yeah, well, yeah, because I mean, it was obviously a couple of different cell phones, I think, and they just kind of pieced it together. It was a really chaotic scene. I just don't understand the trying to tear her clothes off. If you're upset because there's a woman who is, in your view, not dressed appropriately, and let's talk about what she was wearing. It was
like a-
jeans and long
She's in a
sleeve.
long
It
sleeve
was a
pink
long
top.
sleeve shirt.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Came up to the neck. It was not
It wasn't provocative in any way, shape,
No.
or
But
form.
I
The
think
only
it was-
thing she had was her hair showing.
right, and it was
Yeah.
blonde, long blonde hair, and that's probably what.
Now, here's the part that kind of confuses me is, okay, this is obviously not something that happens often. Why did she decide to do this? Was she trying to make a statement of some kind?
Good question. It seemed like it to me, but
Yeah.
I think so, and I think that was what the president of the university might have been trying to say.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
it
he
came
pretty
off-
much was like, she was asking for it.
It came off really bad. It came off like
Oh,
a rape apology.
horrible.
It
Yeah.
really did.
And I mean, I don't think it should be seen as anything other than like a rape apology.
Victim blaming,
It,
essentially.
it definitely
yeah.
was. It definitely was.
Yeah.
But what he's saying is that apparently she came onto the campus wearing
Wearing a
not like
cloak.
the full thing, but at least a hijab. You know.
Well, it said
maybe
she was
even
wearing a cloak. I
cloak.
think it was called like an abaya. Or
Yeah,
something
that's
like
what that
yeah.
one is. Right. And she took that off.
Do you like a
It's
fly?
like-
did you really?
did
get
you
it?
catch it?
Ninja.
That's like the second time you've done that.
Oh my god! No, it's right there next to the. That was impressive.
Anyway, go ahead.
We're so ADD this evening. This is glorious.
Squirrel.
So what was it that the president said? He said, he suggested that the event was her fault, saying that her clothes were, quote, a bit unconventional. So maybe they're unconventional for that society, but I also don't understand why, if you're upset about a woman being dressed unconventionally, why your solution is to rip her clothes off and strip her naked.
Well, in the video that I saw, it seemed like a lot of the guys, they looked like, typical fraternity assholes here, where they're all like, hey, being all broy and trying to rile everybody up. That's what it looked like in the video. So, I mean, I don't know that it was just because, obviously it was because of the way she was dressed, but it was almost as if they were trying to incite some sort of, sexual innuendo towards her, and all sorts of, not innuendo, just assault.
You look at what's happened in Egypt, especially, where female reporters have been taken and raped by mobs of angry men.
Yeah, and I think there was a statistic that said 99.4% of women in Egypt have been sexually harassed, sexually assaulted of some sort. Yeah.
It was
like 99.4, 99.6%, something like that. And it's like,
there's a problem, guys.
yeah, there's a problem with the attitude of it, with the president saying, hey, she was pretty much asking for it, dude. And it's like, no, she's...
I can understand why he wanted to say that, because it seems to me like she was trying to make a statement, like she was inviting something to happen.
That is a statement that should be made.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
But the way he came off and the way he said it really
Just
did make it
completely
sound
douchey.
like he was just like, well, she was asking for it,
Yeah.
I
yeah,
mean,
it did.
as the head of this organization, or of this, this whatever the hell it was, university. Thank you. You should have some more tact. You should think your comments through a little bit better before
Somebody
you go out
needs to
saying
write
like
that stuff
Well-
for him before he says it.
I think that he's a product of the same culture that generated this mob. And I think what's great is that this woman, if she was trying to make a point, did make the point. If she wasn't, then people stood up and said the same thing. In that culture, they said, that's not okay to say that, guy.
Yeah. It was all over Twitter. People were tweeting all about it, just saying
And
this
Twitter
is
is serious
shocking.
business.
Totally. Well, it's a really good medium for getting really
Quickly.
really
Yeah.
quick information on stuff. And I heard about Fred Phelps' death immediately on Twitter. So that's how you really stay connected.
Oh yeah,
these days a lot.
with the Arab Spring and all of those things going on, the governments were shutting down Twitter because it is extremely effective.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so it was really screwed up. What I also thought was interesting was that the same, I guess, organization, the university, they had security on hand to escort her out. So I mean, not everyone was just, oh my God, they were organized enough to.
Well, I doubt the university wants a riot in the university.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
if
I don't know that it had as much to do with protecting her as it did with protecting the
everybody
campus.
else. Yeah. Because if it was really about protecting her, as soon as they saw something happen to her, they would have gotten her out of there.
Sure.
So it wasn't. They didn't have her well-being in mind. They had the.
That's a good point. Fair point.
Yeah.
So tell us about some other fucked up stuff.
So my lifelong dream has come true.
I didn't know you had a lifelong dream.
I do have a lifelong dream. We talked about it a couple weeks ago about how my lifelong dream was to have a fatwa issued against me.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yes.
Ah.
And I'm so excited because, I'm not that excited because apparently it's against all atheists.
So it's not
But I'm
personal.
included in it. So it counts.
Technically.
So
Let me pause you real quick. Chat room. We're short a fatwa this week. We need to have you guys come up with one, and it needs to be specific to Susan.
There we go.
Can that be a weekly thing?
Yes.
Just against
To
you?
issue,
Susan.
to issue a fatwa against me for something.
You're a little bit masochistic, I think. You're just trying to get all the attention here. Anyway, go ahead.
So? So in Saudi Arabia, they have introduced a new set of laws which define atheists as terrorists, according to a report from the Human Rights Watch. There was a string of royal decrees and an overarching new piece of legislation that deals with terrorism. So the Saudi King Abdullah has clamped down on all forms of political dissent and protest that could harm public order. And these public order defines terrorism as calling for atheist thought in any form or calling into question the fundamentals of Islamic religion on which this country is based. So apparently,
Wow,
also
it's good to hear. It's good to hear someone in another country talk about how their screwed up religion is the foundation of their
Yeah.
country. It makes me feel not quite so alone.
we just know that apparently the insanity having to do with religion doesn't know any bounds or cultures. It's
Religion's
everywhere.
without borders. It's we will fuck you up no matter where you go on the planet.
And apparently, also on this list of terrorists that they've released is the Muslim Brotherhood and those who would participate in hostilities outside the kingdom. And apparently, the punishment for this is anywhere from 3 to 20 years in prison, which is like,
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to prison for 20 years for not believing in God. But why would you, if you are living in a country like that, you should be a little hesitant about being open about being an atheist.
Unfortunately, you're right. You should be hesitant about it, but
No
it sucks.
victim blaming. No victim blaming. They should stop. They should stop killing atheists.
You know what? I'm gonna make you a
too,
victim
yeah.
just so I can blame you.
We can do that. I like that idea.
Not in the shed
Bring
though.
it.
Not.
I
gonna make
just,
you a victim in the
I
shed.
still like the idea that I'm involved in a fatwa that's been issued. I'm really excited about this. Like, I feel like I can put this up on, like, a wall
wonder
of
if-
accomplishments.
I wonder if they could start selling certificates to atheists because they could generate a lot of cash. 'Cause who wouldn't want an official Saudi
Fatwa?
Arabian fatwa?
It's kind of like
frameable?
if you name a
Good idea.
star or
Yes,
something.
exactly.
You name a fatwa. This
Bring-
is going to be brilliant. This is going to bring in so much money. This can be our, like, the way to help fund CCA.
I love how every week we come up with these great ideas.
And we
never
never
act.
if
That's what the three of us have been doing.
if we weren't so damn lazy, we would be like retired by now.
We're fucking brilliant. We just don't have the motivation. We don't.
We're like potheads.
Without any pot because we're too lazy to go get it.
I'm just on Ativan. That makes me lose any motivation.
I think
to
I
do
still got some
anything.
brownies. You want some? No.
You never took him up on that, actually.
So I want to back up to a story before we hit the last one.
Okay.
In Kentucky this last week, Casey County School District allowed the Gideons, those are the people who leave the Bibles in your hotel rooms so nicely so you can play hide the Bible or whatever you want to do.
I like to sign him to my biggest fan, Love Jesus.
I got to do that next time. All right.
Every hotel room I've seen with that in the past few years, I've done that.
That's amazing. Okay. So the
I know,
Gideons,
right?
the Gideons got permission from the school district to come into their elementary school and distribute Bibles to the children. And they couldn't be on campus. They could just leave them on a table and let the kids come and grab them
Yeah.
or whatever. The Tri-State Free Thinkers decided to pull a satanic temple on these guys. And instead of filing suit or complaining to try and get them to stop distributing religious material in school, they said, hey, we want to distribute some of our atheist stuff.
And they said,
And they said yes.
okay.
Because I mean, I guess at that point you can't say no because
Yeah,
you-
because
then-
you've already let the Gideons do it.
Right.
And I love that it was a book, like, or a little pamphlet that says, what is humanism? I'm just like, I love
Yeah, I mean, it was
this.
aimed at children.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the perfect way to go about it. I mean,
And I think that's going to teach kids so many better things than
Well-
any religious text ever could.
I think they probably could have gone further than this. This is the one that made me think about that satanic temple thing and all the rest. And it's like, well, you know, if you're going to do that, we need to have like the Satanism version. You know, Satanism. What is
Yes.
it? Satanism. You know,
wait.
it feels good.
So you
Flying
want to
spaghetti
take
monster.
the yard sale to school?
Yes.
Speaking of ideas here that we can do. Satanic Kids book. I actually did look. I did my research on it. Okay, and there is one. There is one out there, but this is Don't Make Me Go Back, Mommy, and it's a child book about satanic ritual abuse in 1990. I so tried to find this. I wanted a copy. It's out of print, and
it's not on, like, Amazon or
dude,
anything?
it's on Amazon, and there's like one there that's like $40, but the seller hadn't been there for like over a year, so I think that's probably a wash. All the rest were like $250.
Holy crap.
But I want that. That's on my list of shit I want.
Maybe we can talk to what's the guy's name that we talked to the other day? The satanic priest.
Raul
Raul.
Anthony.
I wonder if we
Raul
can.
Anthony.
Yeah, I wonder if we can.
I'll tweet at him. Yeah,
See if we can get his hands
still,
on a copy.
We still talk on Twitter.
Don't make
so-
me go back, mommy.
Don't make me. Who wrote it? Like, who's the author?
I don't know. I didn't write that part down, but
That's
it,
amazing.
oh yeah. There's you can actually see pictures of it and some of the text of it just by doing a Google image search.
And I'm gonna
Awesome.
see. I actually really want to ask Reddit and see if anybody has.
We can
seen
come
this.
up with a copy of this book. Surely.
There's gotta be a way. There's totally gotta be.
The power of the internet will compel us.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
This is
the
actually
power of the web compels you. Shoot.
So there were parents who were saying, if you let these atheists bring their book to school, we're not going to send our kids.
Yeah.
I can just imagine what they would do if you brought a satanic book in there. That's amazing.
That's awesome.
That
I
would
love
be
this idea.
rad. Or if they had like a little like a Gospel of the Flying Spaghetti Monster for kids. Like that would
Oh,
be
yeah,
really
that's a good idea.
Yeah, to kind of try and
Although-
adopt that.
Although that would, because I've got like Noah's,
It's already a short book anyway.
I've got a Noah's Ark book for my kids. Just to, it's in between Cinderella and Jack and the Beanstalk, and I think that would be just as absurd. The satanic
yeah.
thing, though, that's really gonna
That just
scare
sounds.
kids.
That sounds
I like
disturbing.
I like the way they're doing this though. They're going in and they're saying, well, if you can present that to them, then we can present this
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah.
And it's playing on parents' fear that that they're going to be allowed to come into contact with something that isn't Christianity, and God forbid they might learn something other than what we've taught them as the truth.
Yeah.
And it makes them think twice about going out and trying to
Yeah.
push the belief.
Absolutely.
Exactly. I think
Brilliant.
that is a better strategy for fighting it.
And
Honestly.
what gets me is that it's not even a book that's forcing religion on anybody. It's about humanism, which is just be good to each other.
Right. It's not even
like
secular.
the Bill and Ted.
I haven't read the book, but it doesn't even say secular humanism. It's just
no,
like
it just
humanism.
says what is humanism.
And you can be a humanist and a religious person.
yeah, like the humanist meetings that we have.
It was a very even-handed book from what it looked
Yeah,
like.
it just looked really fair. Yeah.
And I read some of the reviews on it, and it was talking about, hey, as a teacher, little Susie gets hurt, and Ginny says, let's pray for her. Well, what do you do?
Right.
You say you can do that, but I'm going to take her to the nurse.
It was very
Okay.
thoughtful, and I think if I'm going to be presenting something like this, I'm going to want to go beyond the thoughtful, and I'm going to
Yeah.
want to go towards
Aggressive.
Yeah, here you go. This
Yeah.
is in your face.
They're much nicer people than me, because for me, I would have gone with something like God delusion or God is not great.
Yeah, because you're
I
gonna
don't
get
even
a
care.
4-year-old to
I don't-
read fucking
I don't-
God
but-
delusion.
I wouldn't even really care who's reading the book, because that's not what I'm after. What I'm after is the reaction from the parents,
Yeah.
who are suddenly going to say, "Hey, maybe this whole putting religion thing in my school is not such a great idea," because then the Satanists and the atheists show up with their crap.
I think you're off base there. I think you're inviting the yard sale without the benefit of actually reaching the children. If you can actually reach the children, then yeah, you're fighting a two front war basically. You're saying
Well,
well,
if
the
you-
Maybe
kids
so.
the kids can actually absorb some of this, and the parents are freaking out.
And that's under the assumption that the kids actually picked up any of these anyway. Because it wasn't like anybody was actually going, here, everybody take one of these. It was that they were in a stack, like on table. If the kids wanted to take them, they could.
We do need a more strident atheist children's book, though, because there are a lot of really good wishy-washy ones and some really great skeptic ones too. But I've never seen a good.
Get after it.
Yeah, we'll put it on the list of other ideas that we're not
Right.
doing.
Sure.
I know I saw somewhere, I don't know if it was on Facebook or Reddit earlier, that there was like an atheist parenting book.
Yeah,
like
I've got-
godless parenting or something like that. And I was like, that's actually really cool.
Parenting Beyond Belief.
There we go,
And
yeah.
Raising Freethinkers. I have both of those.
I thought that was really cool.
And Raising Freethinkers, I think, is better because it's more practical. The, Parenting Beyond Belief is really just a series of essays, which is good. The second one, it really gives you some ideas of things you can do. But I really want something that is less happy and more preparing them to deal with stupid ideas
Yeah.
in a methodical and relentless way.
The stuff that they're inevitably going to encounter because they have a differing opinion than
He wants to start growing militant atheist early.
I love it.
Okay,
Oh my
so-
God! Wait! So Tech Leslie in the chat room has a quote from the book.
Oh shit.
I don't want the medicine on my bottom, and I don't want any more pictures of me in the movie star room. They hurt me, mommy. I'm bad, really bad.
Is that from the Satanist book?
Yes.
That's the one about the ritual of use.
No.
Yeah,
God,
I'm
to
telling
get
you,
our
I
hands.
want that book.
We've got to get our hands on that. That's
That's
amazing.
horrible.
Will you please like post the title of that in the Facebook group, in the Atheist Airwaves Facebook group, so we can
Absolutely,
do
absolutely.
This is a
research.
terrible, terrible book. I can't wait to read it.
This is badass. Okay, so let's move.
We did have a fatwa on actually a couple ones.
do we got?
Oh, sweet!
Okay, so
And
we.
none of the, you're not going to be happy with any of them. But
Okay,
one you have been fatwa'd because there has been a sincere lack of snorting in the episode.
Y'all just haven't heard it.
There's only been one.
Let me guess, that was Petey that said that, wasn't it?
I can't find it, so I can't. I just
anyway.
I'm
Okay.
gonna guess that was Petey that said that.
no, that was Artie actually.
Oh, nice. Sorry,
The other one was a fatwa against Jeff for his shirt.
that one was already too, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then another,
He would not stop talking about how much he loves that shirt.
and then another fatwa against you for your red hair.
It's not even
Well, those
real.
are all really boring, guys.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Who did the
I
red
can't-
hair?
I
Who
can't
did the
sanction
red
any
hair
of those
fatwa?
fatwas. I can't sanction any of them.
I can usually tell by username.
You can do better. You can
That
definitely
was
do better.
Petey. She's the red hair yuck.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to South Carolina.
Yeah, so South Carolina. Little Miss Olivia McConnell decided she was in like a restaurant or something, and she was looking through all these things that they had on the table about the South Carolina official state in fill in the blank, and she found that they were lacking a state fossil. So she decided to do what any motivated 8-year-old would
And
do.
Betty White was not available.
Hey-o!
No, she actually put some real good thought into this. Okay, there you go. There's your snorting.
There's been a lot of them. We just haven't heard them.
That one was clearly audible.
Yes. So this little girl decided that she thought there should be a state fossil, and she did some research, and she's like, hey, what about the mammoth? And there's some history behind it, and that's great. I'm not going to go into that. But she decided just to write her state lawmakers to make this thing happen. The House passed it unanimously, but
Not unanimously.
It was nearly unanimous. It was like
94 to
94 to
3.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the Senate, the state Senate, not so
Yeah,
much.
that's where they're meeting the resistance.
Yeah. Christian, do you remember this jackass's name that headed this? Senator Kevin Bryant, I believe. It was the pharmacist and self-described born-again Christian. He's apparently the one who was comparing Obama with Bin Laden.
Yeah,
Oh,
good guy.
that's just beautiful.
Yeah. He voted to sustain a veto that was put up by Nikki Haley, I guess, is the governor. Basically, they're saying, oh, well, we're okay with this, but we're going to have to put some bits in there about who created all
Yeah,
this.
you have to give credit to the one who's responsible for that fossil.
He actually wanted to put verses from Genesis into the bill.
Oh yeah, talking about the mammoths.
Yeah,
It's like,
I'm not talking about the mammoths, but because
I saw something that
there's
said
nothing
that.
in Genesis that talks about mammoths because they didn't fucking know
No,
about
How many versions of the Bible do we have? And
None
How
that
many do you
mention
think
mammoths.
they might now?
No,
they might nowadays.
What you're talking about is they tried to put in verbiage describing the Columbian mammoth
Right.
as created on the 6th day with the beasts of the field.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, they're taking quotes from Genesis and trying to insert it into this.
They're bending the Bible to fit the science, which is what they always do.
I think it was Dare Greatly last week that said stretch to fit.
Yes.
I love that. I love that. That
Of
just
course you would.
that made my little heart soar. Yes,
I'm
I
not
would.
even going anywhere.
Thank
Someone's
you very
really,
much.
really excited about stretching to fit the Bible.
Anywhere.
So is this a pocket
I'll leave
Bible?
all that to your
or-
Exactly what I was wondering.
Is this a pocket Bible or is this a full-on?
Full
Big-
on. Wow. Full on King James version, baby.
So we'll start taking.
There are so many things I'm not gonna say right now.
Please.
So you could pay,
Justin would be
you can
pissed.
PayPal us if you want to see this show next week on the show.
That's assuming you're gonna let me be on next week.
Yeah, and that's a really bad assumption at this point. After the Empire thing.
Oh god, not this again. All right, I'm closing the show.
No,
guys.
wait.
I'm bringing my freaking
Someone-
Ewok to next meetup. Like
not-
I have a
do
stuffed
not.
Ewok
Do-
along
no.
with all of my Chewbacca's.
Don't put it near me. Okay,
It's
so
gonna happen.
I have some updates to this story actually.
Okay, please.
All right, so this is like the good news, bad news updates. The good news is that there was enough of a stink made about messing with this 8-year-old girl that the two senators stood down and agreed to move the bill along without putting the Bible verses in it and all that stuff. The bad news is that the Senate Majority Leader, Harvey Peeler, then put a block on it because he said he was sick and tired of passing all these stupid state symbol laws.
We've done 50 of them before.
And I'm kind of
Come
with
on,
them there. I
guys.
am kind of with them on that.
I'm
It's getting
so
ridiculous.
over this.
So then the good news is that people then got so mad at him that he was like,
stood
okay,
down.
okay. And he stood down.
Let this one go.
Right. And so he satisfied himself by just adding verbiage that said, there will be no more official state fucking anything. The fossil's the
After
last
the fossil?
one.
Okay.
Right. So then...
Not like the state sex position.
Right. Oh, that's something I bet no state has, and Texas should be the first. I don't know what it should be.
Reverse cowgirl.
Cowgirl, yeah.
Wow, she was quick on that.
Again, our brains went to
Giving
the
it
same
some
place.
thought.
This I have seriously thought about this before.
What, reverse cowgirl?
That too.
This is kind of like our show's sweet spot right here.
Oh, is that what you?
That's what I call it. Yeah.
The sweet spot, huh?
I think the Arkansas one would be the cousin.
Oh,
Yeah,
You're right.
all right. So I don't even understand what's going on in the chat room right now. It's amazing. I don't know. But, okay, so he added that verbiage saying no more state anythings, and then another senator said, "Oh wait, that verbiage is not germane to the bill and is therefore illegal in the state of South Carolina." But then the good news is that the Senate Majority Leader said, "Just shut the fuck up. Let's just pass
I'm
this."
sure not in that sort of
No,
way.
actually, what he said is, "Can you please just leave a tender moment alone?" And the guy said, "All right." So the Senate passed the bill
okay.
35 to nothing yesterday, and
Good.
so in short order, hopefully, unless the governor gets involved, we will have the mammoth being the official state.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Hopefully this, in this little girl's, head, she's realizing, hey, there's something wrong with this, and maybe she'll actually grow up to do something.
She's going to be the next generation of activists. She's going to be the one who's out there punishing these people for being so stupid.
Yeah. There was something that she said that she's quoted in the article that was pretty much just wonderfully like skeptic and scientific and stuff like that she was. I don't have it in front of you. You have it in front of you?
I'm reading it right now.
So while he's looking, whatever it is you asked him to look up, Petey Baby in the chat room
Another fatwa?
issued another fatwa.
Is it against my boobs?
No. She's saying that you have got to be into bestiality because of this Chewbacca and Ewok obsession.
She's a furry.
Has she seen my boyfriend?
She's a furry, guys.
I never really thought of it that way.
I love you.
Your ex-boyfriend really does kind of look like a Chewbacca.
Chewie was not that fat, sorry.
For the record, we're not talking about Justin when we
No,
say
no,
that.
he said X. He
Not
said
talking
X.
about Justin when we
No,
say that.
I was talking about Justin when I said that.
Oh, okay.
Because you're
Are
definitely
you saying he's gonna dump me now?
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
would.
wow, that's fucked up.
You would be done.
Okay, so yeah, we were looking at different articles because this little girl has no quotes in the article.
Damn it! I swear there was something I saw.
I'm killing this, guys. Thanks for listening to Atheist Airwaves on Secular FM Radio. We're sponsored by Corpus Christi Atheists and the South Texas Coalition of Reason, and apparently soon some friggin' Ewoks. If you have any questions, requests, complaints, please write to us at god@atheistairwaves.com.
Or fatwas.
Yeah, or Fatwas. Connect with us and our affiliates by visiting ccatheist.com, southtexascor.com, or secular.fm. And I'm gonna add another email address because I don't trust God.
No?
No, I don't trust
I don't
God
think
and
anybody
Atheist Airwaves to be receiving all of these single-handedly. I'm adding one next week.
Okay. Well, I'll look forward to that.
Thanks, YGO.
Can I just add one last thing? Ewok phobia is totally cool. Nothing in humanism says you can't hate on Ewoks. See you guys. That's. I mean, if I could make it make sense, that would be the perfect name.
Texas State Sex Position. Official.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I'm gonna go for 5 for 6 on fucking naming these shows, man.
I don't know. I don't. My chat room is so messed up.
It's because you're not in your normal browser.
Fat
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Yeah. I had such a hard time.
All right. Real quick, there is something wrong with this fucking mic.
Oh.
I'm right up on it, and I sound like her way the fuck back there.
Yeah,
There's something going on with this mic.
Or there's something going on with that mic. One or the other. Well, I don't know.
They used to both be badass.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Maybe I don't know.
Anyway.
Have you? Do you think it might be something with the plug, unplug it, plug it back in? Because if it's not plugged in all the way, it might be receiving some signal but not actually able to transfer.
I know. I was in awe the whole time about how far away from your microphone you were.
See, and then even when I get right here, like this is about as close as I'm comfortable getting.
Is that any better?
Nope.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
That's weird.
I don't know what's up with this.
Pick up her microphone and talk into it.
I'm gonna set that down gently.
No.
Here, just
I don't
hand
know
it
what
to
I'm
me.
Because the other thing
Is that any better?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's something wrong with that mic then. I mean, because she's like this far away.
Yeah.
But I still think that I sound like I'm too far away then.
Yeah, I
That's
don't know
just
what's
me.
up with this mic. I mean, I don't really care. I can be up on the mic. That doesn't bother me. But
God, this thing is so freaking weird.
My phone died, so I couldn't be up with what they were saying.
Grant is all like, I'd eat an Ewok. That's kind of disturbing.
I mean, who said that?
I think it's Grant.
He's vegetarian.
That's actually what he said. I'd eat an Ewok and I don't even eat meat. I think he was talking about sex, but
I'm not sure which way that is supposed to go. If it looks like an Ewok, there's a problem.
Alright. I'm
Well,
gonna save this.
Fuck you!
I don't look like an Ewok, so apparently not.